Good evening, live from Menomonee Falls High School. GTV is back on Friday night with Ron Gavinsky. I'm Ed Rowie. Well, Coach, in that coming down the stretch, is that what we're calling it? With only 5 gamers, 4. It's towards the end of this season for both teams and for everybody around the state. And you start thinking about the playoffs. But tonight, on a cold Friday night, here in January, Germantown traveling, take on Falls. It's a unique team. That's the best way to put it, I think. They've got fantastic leadership in their seniors. Talking to Coach Derek Waffler before the game. Waffler, and he said, I love these seniors, and they bring it every day, and he's had a ton of fun with them, coming off a win Tuesday against Waukesha South on senior night. But what can we expect from them? I mean, what, in a nutshell, in a small little bit, what can we expect? What are we anticipating from Falls?
Well, I would have guessed they're still going to play man-to-man, but it would not surprise me if they play a little zone tonight. They run a high-low game. Stanford used to run that. He runs that a little. I think they're going to try to slow the game down. That would be my guess. And then if they shoot well, they slow the game down, and they can handle Germantown's pressure. It could be an interesting game. Because, again, this team reminds me a lot of Brook East.
Sure.
Young, good. Even though they start 3 seniors, they have a lot of young kids on their varsity.
I can put those seniors up there for you right now. You see the group, 2 sophomores, 3 seniors. You talked about the high-low. That's going to be between 33 and 44. Sarah Boer and Riley Rude. You'll see that, but it all starts with the point guard, sophomore Peyton Recklich. Orally committed to UWM. Go down and play for Mom. Of course, why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
But this is also a kid that loves basketball, has the IQ of a coach's daughter, and you'll see that tonight during the course of the game come from her and those 3. Those are the big, we don't want to say the big 3, but that's what they are. And then you throw in the other senior in the starting lineup, Haley Carver. She's just all over the place. And then the 5th sophomore, 5th starter, Jasmine James. That's kind of been a spot where they've kind of moved some people in and out, but she's kind of settled into that spot, and it's a spot that it's a strong 5 to start.
It is. And their depth, again, is young.
Right.
And you're playing a pretty veteran team here and one of the best in the state. So it's good for the young kids to see the type of team that they want to be, if that's a good thing to say.
And where the teams differ, especially where they differ, where the separation occurs, is when they do go to the benches. And that is nothing against the Falls kids.
No.
Although you did talk about their youth, it just speaks to the volume and the quality of Germantown's next 5.
Correct. As I call them, the Gnats.
The Gnats, right. They
so
come out,
Gnats.
yeah. They come out and they're constantly on you on a hot summer night, bothering you, and that's the difference. And that's the difference in them and the rest of the conference. And that is why we have this conference and the standings that they are. We see Germantown and Brook Central on the top, each holding a 2-game lead over DSHA, or a game and a half, as it were. It's the separation of the bench, and it's nothing against their ability. It's a really strong bench for Germantown.
Right, and Germantown's bench has done it to every team they've played this year. I mean, so it's not like oh my God, they're pretty good.
It's a bench that it's not about holding the line. It's a bench that separates that line. If they come into the game and it's a 10-point game, those 5 are pushing that lead. Most teams, their bench, and when I say most, it is almost all other teams, they are just hoping to hold the line. If it's a 10-point lead, keep it at a 10-point lead. Germantown's looking to push it and increase that lead.
You're absolutely right in that statement. I think if I was the Menomonee Falls coach, I would be telling my kids we want to be like Germantown. We want to show up every day and practice hard, which will turn over to the games.
And we're just about set for the starting lineups, the anthem, and all those fun things, and most importantly, the game itself. We want to thank, before we get started, Liz Radloff for helping us all tonight on camera. She is JV player here at Menomonee Falls, and she is helping us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Without her help, it's kind of tough to run this.
So thank you, Liz, and we're set for the anthem.
And good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of Principal Bob Vitale and Athletic Director Ryan Highmark, welcome to the Falls and to Menomonee Falls High School, the home of Falls basketball. Tonight's Greater Metro Conference varsity opponent, the second-ranked Warhawks of Germantown High School. And now, fans, to honor America, her veterans and her real heroes, our brave military serving proudly in harm's way around the world and away from their friends and families. Gentlemen, please remove your caps and stand respectfully for the playing of our Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thanks, everyone. Starting lineups shortly. Fans, it's time to meet the starters for tonight's contest. First on visitors from Germantown High School, led by head coach Matt Stewie, assisted by Laura Superman, and a big falls welcome back from Mr. Shane Cox. The Warhawks are managed by Samira Riles, the head trainers Jamie Pekka and Lizzie Carroll. Let's meet the Warhawk starters. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 1, K.K. Arnold. A 5'7" senior guard, number 13, Natalie Paulskill. At guard, a 5'7" junior, number 22, Emily Wisner. A 5'8" senior guard, number 23, Katie Pompu. And at guard, a 5'7" senior, number 24, Jalen Acker. Let's have a kind welcome for our neighbors from Germantown. And now the starting lineup for your Menomonee Falls Beatings, led by head coach Derek Wolfer, assisted by Cindy Cook and Dave Rackletts, managed by LP Lauren Parker. The head trainers Liz Berghammer and Tyler Becker of Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Let's meet the hometown starters for Menomonee Falls. At forward, a 5'7" senior, number 4, Haley Oliver. A 5'10" sophomore guard, number 5, Peyton Racklett. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 10, Jasmine James. A 6'3" senior forward, number 33, Sarah Miller. And a 5'10" senior forward, number 44, Riley Wu.
There you have it. There are the starting lineups. They're on the screen for you as well. As we're just about set from Menomonee Falls High School, the new nickname this year, the Falls Phoenix. I like the way that flows.
I do too.
Last time these two teams met, December 15th, Germantown beat Falls 72-44. This is a unique gym.
Falls starting in his own.
And they are in the zone. Okay, let's get the scoreboard. Let's get the clock. Let's get everything up. It's a unique place in that our positioning for the cameras. There's just they do have fans, as you can see, across the gym, and we didn't want to take a spot in the middle. We were afraid of pushing some fans out, and for the first time being able to KK
3
getting a chance to come and watch these teams play. We don't want to interfere with any of that. So we're going to make it work. And again, thank you, Liz Radloff, for helping us out. Answer 3, good.
44.
Riley Rude. Coming back down left side. Paul's kill.
Nope.
She rushed that one. Wisner, offensive rebound.
Nice kick.
Go the other side with it. Wisner, no good. Batted around, ends up in Recklish hands. Just underway. We are in the opposite to the left of where you see everything. In the corner.
Right next to Menomonee Falls bench.
That is correct. Carver swinging it right side. Going up and catching it. Jasmine James. There's the high-low. They're trying to look inside, but Germantown just denying it, so they got to go to the weak side. Nothing. Ooh, got away with something there, but it's going to go off. Sarah Boer. 3-3 early on. Let's see if I can.
Oh, nice pass by Arnold.
No good. Arnold, the putback. No good.
Acker
Battle.
with the rebound.
Acker comes away with it.
Acker for 3.
No good.
Paul Skill runs down the rebound.
Acker shot, no good. Boer comes away with it, and they push. Ooh, and they're going to get a body call. Ooh, that could have gone either way. And it goes against Germantown. KK's first. 15:43 left first half. That's something she's been doing a much better job of lately, and that is staying out of foul trouble. Go back to that BC game. Since then, I don't think she's had anything close to being a foul issue. First turnover of the night for Falls. Hello to Carrie Newcomer checking in tonight. And again, this Falls team playing without Aaliyah Parker-Fox, 5'5" senior. Shot no good. Boer rebound. She is a pure energy, and she hurt her shoulder, and she kept trying to come back and keep playing and kept trying and trying. It just was not happening. And it appears she finally had to have surgery, judging by the pillow pad she wears and having had to wear one. Those are awful. That last runner, Alana Bullock, rolled out and tipped out of bounds off Germantown. So Falls has it underneath.
Steal. Oh.
Near steal. And it ends up being a steal. And that was all created by KK. Pass up ahead. And Acker underlays it. She hit the bottom of the rim. And this is the type of thing. Great play by Acker. And they're going to say she was laying out of bounds. This is the type of start you worry about as a coach. This is a 4-10 Menomonee Falls team. There's the standings, 4-10 overall, 2-9 in the conference. You know, you're 11-1, and you're just kind of going, well, we'll win this one, and we'll just, you know, we're concerned about what DS and BC do on Tuesday. Well, they got to worry about themselves here.
Right.
And the way this has started, it's not the start you're looking for.
It's exactly what the Falls wants, the start they want.
Yeah, exactly.
The energy level for Germantown isn't at what we've seen in the past.
Well, I
at
think
this
defensively it looks pretty good. I think offensively they look kind of like, yeah, okay, well, somebody will score here. Somebody, and, you know, the shots, they rattle in and out, and then all of a sudden you're, like, scrambling. And, I mean, you had numerous opportunities that last possession and couldn't score.
Right.
Look inside. I got Coach Waffler in front of me.
Yeah, and I have to look around him, too.
They're going to get a travel on Bullock.
Well, plus Germantown has another game tomorrow night. So does that play into this a little?
Maybe. You wouldn't think, but yeah, you're definitely possible in the zone. The other thing that's probably making the sluggish. But 5 out, kick out, Arnold, no good. Haley Carver rebound, but I think they're relying on that jumper coming to us, out of our reach.
Paige Robinson and
Emptying the bench. It's Robinson, it's Hess,
McNeil.
and it's McNeil.
And at the moment, Germantown's only getting one shot at their basket.
Oh, sloppy, unforced turnover. Now, if you're Coach Wolfler, you're like, that. It's going to happen, but it can't happen.
Right, those are the killers.
Those are the ones you can't have against a team like Germantown because they're only going to stick around in this game for so long.
Right.
Two-man game. Acker, Hess, Acker.
On cue.
Steal. Great read. Deflection instead.
That was a great deflection.
And near steal. 6-3 now. 2 3-pointers. Can you take anything from the December 15th game where Germantown won 72-44? I mean, that was a home game, but can you take something from it? I mean, obviously something, right?
Yeah, I would think that.
There's your high-low. Good pass inside. Sarah Boer collects and finishes.
I would think that's part of it, that the high-low game worked for Menomonee Falls, and they handled their pressure, and that's huge.
So far, so good with the pressure tonight. Still 4 turnovers.
Right.
But you can still handle a great pass. That's 2 in a row from Bullock. Carver finished it, but Bullock setting him up. That's back-to-back great passes from her. Acker stepping into the 3, lets it fly. It's coming right to us. Save us. Decided not to.
James in the game for Menomonee Falls.
Paul's kill for Acker. Carver sits for Jasmine James.
Well, and since they played last time, I mean, I think, I'm positive, the Falls has won the last 2 games they played. So there's a positive there.
Sure.
You know, when you only have
KK gets the foul call and will shoot 2. Back to your point, sorry.
I was just going to say, when you only have 4 wins and you've won 2 in a row, you're heading in a positive way. But we've seen this year with a lot of teams. Tosa West.
Yep.
You know, and then they run into the juggernaut.
Free throw good.
And being Germantown. I mean, you get on a roll, and the next thing you know, you're playing one of the best teams in the state. She made the second one, Coach.
All right. And that goes back to what Coach and I were talking about before the game and how impressed he's been with the girls. And when you are losing, it's tough to show up every day and keep working, especially in the dead of winter. But he said his seniors, he's so proud of them. Great pass from KK. That foul is going to be on the floor. It's going to be on Riley Rude. Paulskill got in front of her. Sealed really well. So that, you know, he's proud of the group.
There's truth to that.
You know, and this was my team that I thought really had a chance to affect things later on, and it stepped,
Dribbled, good call.
right out of bounds. But you know, when you lose a starter like Aaliyah Parker Fox, who's just pure energy, and a great ball handler, it's really tough to overcome that because then you have to take a bench player, they become a starter, and the trickle down.
Rotation, right.
And talking about how we came into this tonight, we came on air talking about the benches. And when you have to take somebody from a bench to a starter, that changes everybody's role, and you lose some of that depth. So I think that's affected them, and it really took a good execution. You know, Coach Derek here, he's just a big dude, and he just blocks so darn much. KK breaks the pressure, has it blocked, and they're going to get the foul. They did come down on her arm, so she's going to shoot 2.
Well, there's an old adage, winning is contagious and losing is contagious.
Absolutely.
And when you lose, it's easy to give up. And it doesn't look like the Falls have given up yet.
And you can see it even right now in this early stretch.
Right.
Danae King checking in for Falls, 5'10" junior.
Which, again, as we said to a lot this year, you have to credit the coach a lot on that.
Absolutely. We are fortunate. We see some great coaches in this conference, and we get to see the conference. I mean, that's the thing. We get to go every gym we go into. You know, we say a lot of the same things, but it's really true.
It is.
I mean, we sit here and we're like, well, who's the best coach in the conference? We can't speak to that. Breakaway layup, swatted from behind from Acker. Amaya Rodriguez thought she had a layup, and Acker smacked it out of her hands.
Well, exactly. I mean, this is one of the top 2 or 3 conferences in the state, the GMC, and you better be a pretty good coach to be in this conference.
You bet.
And if you're not, you don't stay long.
There's that inside, Recklich, finish. 11-9 Falls. 11:25 left first half. Cut. Robinson.
Ooh.
Lost it.
Good idea.
Good pass fake. Block from the weak side. Leah Hess says get it out of here. Pitch it up ahead. Kick out, Paul's kill. Robinson, jumper, rolls around and down.
That was a great pass.
4th tie of the night.
I mean, and there's something also to say, when you play a team the second time, you can find out how much you've improved.
Timeout on the floor. 10:53 left. It's a 30-second. We'll take it with them. You're watching GTV. Back live at Menomonee Falls High School. Carrie, we see it. We're not sure what that is about. It could just be the lighting and the close proximity of the camera to the floor, and we don't want to back it up too much because I see what you're saying, and it's not our crystal clear stuff that we usually have, and I'm going to see if I can play with it. Probably not till half, however.
Nice
but I will give it a
deflection.
look. I promise you that. There's the Nats. This time it's a true Nat in Paul's kill. Angie Babin from Houston checking in. 3, good.
Number 14.
Amaya Rodriguez buries the 3. Corner, nope. Whiz kid. Pull up, runner, good. 14-13.
Good play.
We are going to have a ball end up in our lap at some point tonight.
Yes, we are.
They keep floating over here.
Well, maybe we should have stayed by the pom-poms when we first came in.
Maybe. Cheer squad right in front of us, so we kind of got bumped to the other corner, which is perfectly fine. It's just unusual because we're right next to the bench. So that's why you get some of the cheering in the background from the Falls bench. Inside out. Acker really couldn't get her feet set on that one.
Yep.
And then Carver came away with the rebound. Reklich up the right side. Pompu on her. He moved. I can see the hoop right now. We should tell him about, that's the other reason we want to be on the other side. We don't have a bench. Oh.
Right.
Airborne pass goes out of bounds, and everybody kind of looked and go, where was that going? I think it was I expected you to be here, and, well, I expected you to do this. So, little miscommunication.
Kind of reminds me of our setup we have at Germantown, Coach, right now. We're near the away team's bench.
9:13 left first half. Pompu skip pass. Into the lane. KK no good. Gets a rebound. Bat.
The Nats were there.
Yeah. They could not come away with it. And now they're going to get KK for a second.
It's either KK or Acker. And looking at Acker's reaction, I think it's on her.
You're right. Good call.
Her first, team second.
8:50 left first half. Menomonee falls up, 14-13. The one thing I will say, got away with it.
Yes, she did.
We have seen this from many teams. They get off to these Paul's kill deflection. They get off to these sluggish starts Germantown does, and they go into a half close game, and then all of a sudden the second half comes and the blitz comes. We saw it against DS. We saw
Hortonville.
We saw it in Hortonville. So this isn't unusual. But it's still not a trend you like to see if you're a Warhawk fan here on GTV, which I should get that up. And on the screen, deflected, out of bounds. It's going to be Germantown ball. So the 8th turnover of the night for Falls. And Germantown looks to regain the lead. Wisner, cut off by Rude.
Nice pass.
Acker, little fadeaway, no good. Boer rebounds, but throws it away, and KK comes away with it. Now there was discussion online as to who the player of the year should be, and one name that was not discussed was number 1, and I'm sorry. They're not going to give it to her because she's a sophomore, which if we haven't learned, you cannot assume tomorrow. If we haven't learned that yet with this pandemic, don't punish a kid because she's a sophomore. She absolutely belongs in that discussion. I'm sorry. That's my 2 cents. I'm done.
I agree. I mean, that was...
Double dribble? Nope, a travel. Yeah, you could see that kind of lost it trying to feed the post.
I know that the committee had when, I can't remember the girl from Janesville, Parker. She won it 3 years in a row, and coaches were crying, but she was by far the best player. Arike.
I can see her face.
Yeah,
she was
it'll
a heck
come
of
to me.
She went to Duke.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
This was no her Micah. Was it Micah?
No.
Dang it.
Her, believe it or not,
Jumper rattles
her
around.
father
No good.
Was the singer. God, I had it before I started talking.
That's okay. His Falls breaks the pressure, gets a shot inside, backboard off, no good.
But
we'll come up with it.
Yeah, my guess is Arnold is going to be the
Misty Bass.
Missy Bass.
There
correct.
we go. I knew it was coming to me. I knew it was an MB.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, she won it 3 years in a row, and people were upset by that. But she was
the best player in the state.
So good.
And then Arike came along, and they only gave it to her senior because the committee decided it was only going to a senior.
Yeah.
Yet she was the Gatorade Player of the Year 3 years in a row in this state.
Maddie Montgomery checking in for the first time tonight for Germantown. She has to be in the discussion. She is. Coach Liebel threw it out there. Well, let's not forget about number 11 on my team.
Right, I saw that today,
Totally
and I
understand.
agree.
Totally understand. We discussed it. It's going to come down to the player of the year between those two. Personally, I think KK is it. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, McNeil didn't win it last year.
No. And she was out she missed about 4 games down the stretch, and I really felt that was the right call.
I agree.
but
Mortag was the best player.
She won it as a sophomore and a junior.
Right.
You can't assume senior year. She had a monster season, fantastic season. In many years, she is the player of the year. But Mortag, the way she came on late, you had to give it to her.
Correct. And again, looking at KK and even Enrique, anything can happen between now and their senior year.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen, and that's my point. Don't discard her because she's a sophomore. That bothers me. I sat in on many of those meetings, and coaches are right. Don't make this determination based on their age. If there's somebody better, there's somebody better. Now, if it comes down to between the sophomore and the senior, then I do understand it. I really do. Little jumper is good.
I agree. And if they're tied, if they're both equal, you give it to the senior.
Sarah Boer gives Menomonee Falls the lead. We've had 8 lead changes. KK splits everybody, gets to the hoop, hits the back iron, though. Boer comes away with it. There's the Nats causing problems. Recklich, nice job getting coming to the ball. 6:25 remaining first half. Carver inside. Travel or a push?
Yep,
Yeah, travel. I was blocked off. Coach Hansford. We got Todd Hansford checking in from Appleton East. I don't know if you heard me when I said that we have Houston checking in.
Yes.
Angie Babin.
Good coach at Appleton East.
And was it Chubby Checker's daughter?
It was Chubby Checker's
daughter. Okay, that's what they're
daughters.
saying. Good
Yes.
work.
I just remember that. I seen Mitzi play her whole high school career. And as I said, in my humbled opinion, Arnold is probably KK is the second best player I've seen in this state.
Ball
in
deflected,
my opinion.
out of bounds. It's going to stay here. Carver had it, and the Nats showed up and deflected it, and it went off her knee. It's so hot. We've talked about this. It's so challenging for a team to prepare for Germantown because of the way they fly at you. This is the one thing you can't measure. You watch it on tape, you can't measure it. And by tape, we mean game. Can't call tape or film because good block, Danae
And
King.
she stole it right back from her.
And then KK rips it right out of her hands.
Katie scored those for Germantown.
Pompu, a travel, got away with it, and then the left hand. King cleans it up and finishes. Just going back and forth, 18-17. Arnold has it blocked again by King.
And a breakout.
Bullock.
I was going to say, Coach, I was talking to Coach Rosello, who coached Enrique. And I had told him what I thought about Arnold. And the statement I said to him is, go ahead, Coach, you can say who scored. Timeout, Germantown.
Falls up, 2017. 5:15 remaining. You're watching GTV. Back live, Menomonee Falls High School. Friday in January, and we're talking high school basketball.
Yep.
2017. Falls up by 3. Terry checking in from Cat Spring, Texas. Corner 3, Acker. Got it. Got to do some fun things. There we go. Get the camera back. There we go. Let's give those points. We got to travel again.
Paul's kill in the game. McNeil out. I'm going to say, as I was talking to Rosella, I had told him I had seen KK play 17 or 18 live games. again with Enrique, you need to see them play live versus
It's different. It's so different to see it, and that goes. You're exactly right. Everybody watches the state tournament. I mean, everybody watches.
right.
And you see it, and you go. Sometimes how easy they make it look. Good two back and forth.
Right.
Not there.
Well, no.
So- and it's just when you see it live, it's like wow. And as
It's-
coaches, we would go up there and watch it. And it's so incredible as KK gets to the lane. It is so different when you watch the speed and the power. They talk about it in the NBA too. We see it right in front of us right now.
correct.
And the speed at which these Germantown players are.
Nice
Oh,
steal.
great feed.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's what I nicknamed
Katie
them the Gnats.
Pompu.
This is a perfect example. If you watch them on tape, you go, oh, timeout for the Falls.
Timeout falls. It's a big one. We're going to take it with them. You're watching GTV, a W7 production.
later.
Back live at Menomonee Falls High School. Falls was up 20-17, but Germantown's on an 8-0 run.
Ooh, almost a turnover there. This is,
The patience shown,
yep,
but this is where that patience runs thin real quick, and you
10
come out of a
seconds.
timeout, and then immediately a 10-second call.
and I don't care who you are, you cannot practice against Germantown's pressure. You can handle it for a while, but they hit you in spurts.
Absolutely. Shot rattles around and out.
Ooh,
Riley Rude rebound and
Hess
a
got
foul.
a foul. Leah Hess.
This is a Warlock foul. It's called on number 5, Leah Hess, her first team foul.
3.5 left first half. Germantown on an 8-0 run. Started with a timeout by Coach Stuve. And Jalen Acker hitting a corner three. And then the Nats took over, and they have gotten the 5-point lead.
Right.
See how Falls responds.
And you can see a little difference in the Falls right now. And this is a smart move to
Patience. Yep.
patience.
Oh, and Natalie Paulskill read that passing lane and almost came away with the steal. Instead of it's knocked out of bounds. 3:06 remaining first half. But if nothing else, Falls holding them down. I mean, they scored 70. Germantown's averaging about 74 a game. You can get the exact number.
It's 73.3 in conference.
Okay, 73-3. And, you're at 25 right now. So that's a great defensive effort.
And the Falls is averaging 43.8. So the Falls is where they're supposed to be.
Yes. Yep, you're exactly right.
You know.
Good patience shown right here. Lob inside
Nice pass.
and able to finish. Great. Riley Rude going up and catching that and bringing it down and able to finish. That was not an easy pass, nor was it an easy catch. Oh, man, that was the best-looking shot she's had all season. She called for it. Her feet were set. She squared up beautifully and knocked it down. And the lead is the largest of the night, 6, and now she gets the steal. Hess, Acker, kick out three. Wisner, short.
Hess with the rebound. Katie with the 3.
Katie Pompoo hits the 3, and just like that, the lead is 9.
Ooh,
And another turnover. Acker to the hoop, spin, left hand, no good. Flying in, Wisner. Sorry, Pompoo.
Wisner
Wisner
to the
to the
basket.
hoop and finishing.
If this is your first time watching Germantown, this is typical for them.
Don't be upset by it, because this is what they do to everybody.
Yep. Ooh,
Acker comes away with it. Goes to the hoop. Off the back iron, and she is frustrated.
But you got a
Oh!
jump ball out of it.
And then goes down hard. And she got spun.
Substitutions for both teams for the Warhawks, number 1, KK Arnold, and number 3, Maddie Montgomery.
Montgomery in the game, KK in the game,
Acker out.
and Wisner out.
So that tie-up stays with Falls. Acker's having one of those frustrating nights.
Yeah, but she does so many other things that are good. She rebounds, steals, deflects. Arnold's working hard.
And there's Paul's kill with another deflection. 1:12 remaining. 16-2 run right now for Germantown.
Nice jump.
And there's the deflection. Montgomery unable to come up with it. They get it to Recklich. To King on the right side. Got it back to Recklich. Kicking it weak side. Good ball move, but unable to get the look inside is
Steal by Hess.
Arnold down the lane.
Nice
Drops it off.
pass.
Paul's kill. Unable to finish. Pass to Carver. Up ahead. King trying to find a handle, but Maddie Montgomery came flying in to take it away. So with 30 seconds left, Germantown looking to build on this lead and this run. Arnold, no good. Montgomery unable to come up with it, deflected it right to Danae King. Pass to the middle, Rude. Up to Bullock. Ten seconds remaining. Hess comes away with the rebound.
6,
You see-
4, 3, 2.
Little floater from Pompoo rolls off. And it's halftime from Menomonee Falls. Our score, Germantown 33, Falls 22. You're watching GTV.
What does W7 stand for? How did you come up with that name?
We get asked this all the time. So several years ago, my wife put together a Christmas gift for all of our kids and for her and I, and we opened them up on Christmas morning, and they were all T-shirts that said W7 on it. And I said, "What's W7?" She said, "Well, W, our last name's Wipperman, so that's W. 7, there's 5 kids, and the 2 of us make 7, and so we're W7." And so once I started doing this, we didn't have a name at first, and people were asking me, "Well, what do you go by?" And I said, "Well, I'm just Gary." And they're like, "Well, do you have like a company name?" And so I got to thinking, like, we really need some sort of company name. And I actually went and asked her permission. You know, would you give me permission to use W7 as the name of our company? And she agreed, readily agreed, and that's how we came to be, and that's who we are.
Back live at halftime on GTV from Menomonee Falls High School. You can see our schedule for tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, starting about 12:45. Gary will be bringing you Marshall and Pewaukee. That should be a very
great
good game.
Yep.
And then tomorrow evening, your Warhawks travel to Kettle Moraine Lutheran, and we will be there and bringing it to you. So that's our schedule for tomorrow. As it is now, it is halftime. And there's your score, 33-22. But the score is not indicative of what this game was until about the 4-minute mark. It was 20-17, Falls up, and then then Germantown, the switch went on, and they went on the 16-2 run to finish the half. All in all, if you're Falls,
Gotta be
the
happy.
only concern, truthfully, is the turnovers. They handled the pressure early, but pressure wears you down and it forces you into that next speed and you panic. 20 turnovers, and they averaged 20.6 on the season.
Correct.
And they had 20 in the first half. Flip side, Germantown turned it over twice.
And Germantown averages 13.1 turnovers a game. Big thing in the first half, Germantown, up into those last 4 minutes, was limited to one shot, and then they hit some threes in that 4-minute stretch, which got them into their press, which got them into turning over the Falls. So all in all, I mean, if I'm Falls, I'm happy. You controlled the game. You controlled the backboards. Germantown, this is what Germantown does to everybody.
Yeah, you
Hey,
can't
hey.
be upset by it. Continue.
ahead.
So I was
No.
gonna bring up the conference standings, kind of give you everybody an idea where we're at. Germantown and Brooks Central tied for first. With Tuesday night's game, Divine Savior Holy Angels traveling to Brookfield Central. So that's going to be a great big midweek game. That'll be the game of the week game of the night for Tuesday night, no question. Don't know 100%, but I believe Gary will be bringing that game to everyone. But that's not set in stone, and I shouldn't speak out like that until I know for certain. But again, if you want to know for certain what the schedule is, you can always go to productionsw7.com, and on there is the schedule. And it's always subject to change, and that's why I'm thinking he may bring us that game because of the close
Proximity.
It's a GMC game, something we do a lot of, and the way the conference is shaping up. Because again, if everything plays out, you're going to have duo conference champs in Brooks Central and Germantown. And that's not a bad thing, but I think deep down you always want to win it on your own.
Correct. And if you look at the last 3 years, Germantown has won it two of the, not including this year, but the 2 years prior, 15-1, and they could be 15-1 again.
It's astounding. It
It
really is. Germantown ball coming out of the break. Acker left side. Pompu cut off. Great job by Carver to cut that off. KK got away with a little elbow push.
Yep.
Was Reckless able to hustle it down? Nope. Katie Pompu beat her to it. Germantown. Great
nice
pass. Paul Skill needed to go reverse on that. And there's the travel. It's only the third of the night for Germantown.
Germantown hit 6 threes in the first half.
So 6 threes with only 2 turnovers. That's a good recipe right there.
And the Falls only hit 1 3. And as you said before, a couple turnovers.
And that was Riley Rood to start the game.
Yes.
That was their first bucket of the night.
Game, you're right.
Yeah.
They led 3-0.
KK Steele stepped out of bounds. Going to just go down as a great hustle play.
And there's Paul's kill on the break again.
That one we're certain of. There was nobody in the conference that gets out on that fast break better.
Oh, no. She's the best I've seen this year. And as I said to you in another I was talking another one of our broadcasts. I talked to her mom because we both were wondering if she's a track player,
Track athlete,
and
she
tra-
sure
and
is.
She is, and you
Makes
could see
perfect
why.
sense.
Yep.
Just underway, second half. Weak side steal. Acker. She brings it over the timeline. Pompu.
One dribble pickup.
Arnold.
Ooh. Number 10.
They're going to get that on Jasmine James. Her first.
Maybe their first foul of the game, Coach.
Give you a side view of Germantown's possession. As they go left side, Acker, three, no good. Wisner unable to come away with it as Carver did a nice job boxing out. Interesting stat at halftime. Menomonee Falls
Nice
winning the
step through.
rebounding battle, 19-8. And they're going to get a tie up, and it's going to stay right here. Falls ball.
And as I said to you at halftime, Falls is averaging 31.3 in the conference, and Germantown's averaging 39 rebounds a game. So Falls is on track to hit their average.
And Germantown's way under.
Way under.
And his zone defense will do that to you.
Correct.
Paul
Nice
Skill,
job.
good help by Pompu, deflected. Nope. Rude lost it. Carrie Mendiola from Sugarland, Texas,
Oh.
checking in. So we got Texas checking in. I love it. This is
not-
great stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, that's near Dallas.
Take your word for it.
I'm just trying to think what my nephew who lives in Dallas was saying.
Turnover. KK on the break. Keeps it. Fouled. She'll shoot two.
Number 10.
Jasmine James, it's her second personal, the team second.
15:30 remaining. Arnold to the line. First one is good.
She's shooting.
First point of the second half.
Yeah, she's shooting 70% from the line now.
Keeps climbing.
Yep. She's a clutch free throw shooter. I hope I didn't jinx her.
Well, it's an 11-point lead.
Yeah.
Gets them both, and the lead continues to grow. Near turnover. 13-point lead. And again, this was a 20-17 Falls lead, and it's been all Germantown since. About the 4-minute mark. Ball deflected. Paul's kill. Deflects it out. Rude picks it up. As they look inside to Boer. She collects.
Oh,
puts
nice
it on
help.
the floor. Good help. Recklich comes up with it, and you're going to have a tie-up for 3 seconds. It's going to be a tie-up, and it's going to be Germantown ball. Don't think Recklich understood. Dad yelled, "Go up, P." Spot on. Don't think she realized if she goes up weak side, left side.
Again, is she's not used to seeing the Nats like that in practice.
No, that's a great point. Pompu skip. Acker. Paul's kill. 3 on the way. Good. 7th made 3 of the night. Falls has only made that first one to start it. Acker deflects it off of Recklich. What a play by Jay. Unreal.
More and more I watch her, the more and more I'm impressed with her. She is a complete basketball player.
California Baptist is getting a complete player.
I mean, she plays both ends of the court. She was just doing the
She
Irish
was
jig,
doing it. And
she's feeling it.
And she got get it out there.
Arnold, ooh.
Near steal.
Well, Natalie
And then
deflected
Page
it.
almost came away with it. They open up some doors. All of a sudden, the temperature just dropped 10 degrees.
Yeah, they
Woo!
did.
It's a little brisk in here.
Well, Page is in the game. Oh,
Another deflection. Paul's kill.
they opened the door again, Coach.
They are opening doors.
They're trying to heat the outside.
Nah, it's not going to work.
Not today.
At least according to my mom. I got yelled at all the Great play, Paul's kill. She blocked the shot and then deflected it.
Yeah.
Right to Acker. Go the other way. KK's going to shoot 2. What an incredible block and play. Just an individual effort.
Great athletic play there.
Number 4, Haley Carver. It's her first, team third. Back for the Warhawks, number 5, Leah Hess. Number 11, Gretchen McNeil. For the Falls, number 3, Alana Bullock. Replacing James.
Page.
Down the lane. Rolls off.
McNeil.
Gretchen rips down the rebound. Is going to go shoot 2 for that effort.
Fouls on number 4, Haley Carver, her second, team 4th.
McNeil hits the first free throw and the lead's 20. Wow.
Just like that.
Again, it was 20-17 Falls. Pure butter. You could hear him down here. We got a 30-second timeout on the floor. We will take it with them. You're watching GTV. Back live on GTV, coming out of a timeout. That was a Germantown timeout if you were curious. Let's get that clock back up. Nope. Going baseline, good, strong move. Bullock unable to finish. It's a great move. McNeil, swing it left side. Acker all the way to the corner. Great ball movement. Hess, no good. Robinson. And who is that hustling with her? Carver. They both were hustling to it. Didn't see who. Well, looks like McNeil won that race, or was it Robinson? I said Robinson. So it was Robinson that won that race. Acker steal.
Nice pass.
Bounce pass, finish.
The Page.
Under 13 now, lead 23. Carver.
Steal.
Ends up in McNeil's hands. Kick out. Acker, 3, got it. Timeout Falls.
Acker's fourth. 30.
It's a 30-second timeout.
The girls and coaches do an outstanding job all year round for so many of our sports and other events. Let's meet this year's varsity cheer team. Reese Tarantino, Carissa Short.
In the conference, that's Acker's 22nd 3 this year.
And she is up for
The 3-point shot?
for the season. They're not having the contest, but she was mentioned as the, I don't know,
the
whatever
3,
they call
yeah.
it, that thing. There was
The
the
3-point,
finalist,
yeah.
yeah. I think there was a list of, it looked like 20-ish names, 15, 20.
Yeah.
Busted. We got them dancing.
Excellent.
That's the stuff Gary absolutely lives for.
Well, and it's
It's the fun of all of this.
and that's what it's all about. I don't care what anybody says. When
Yeah.
it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Are we on?
We have been the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Is this thing on, or am I wasting my time? We got another turnover, unless
Nice
Tania
hustle.
King, good hustle.
Nice hustle by McNeil.
Hess pass broken up by Rude.
Well, as I was saying, it's about the kids, and it is. I mean, as coaches know, every year they're going to get new players, but this team will never be assembled again. After
Arnold
this
left
year.
alone, 3, no good. King rebounds.
So please have as much fun as you can as players.
Get it back. Come on, there it is. There we go.
Good job.
Took a second, but still working. And we're up 26 right now.
Oh, they're running the form of the swing.
Oh, great play by KK. Picking pockets, dropping
Nice
passes.
pass.
Oh, unable to finish. McNeil gets her own rebound, and she's going to shoot 2. Laddie Sorman checking in.
And KK's number.
Summerin, I think I said it right, Summerin.
Yes.
In Denver. So we got Denver checking in.
That's awesome. KK's number 2 in the conference in assists. McNeil made the
And
first
who is
one.
she behind?
CJ
Romero. Exactly. So that's why we keep discussing who is the player of the year. And we will continue to discuss it. We're biased. We've seen every single game from
Right.
KK. There has been no let up. There has been no taking the foot off the gas. CJ's had a few games where it's been
Yeah.
and
that's
as most players do.
Correct.
However, it's pretty rare from KK. Great step through. Carver going to go to the line.
Wiz. Emily Wisner with the foul. Well, and CJ's had a solid year.
No
especially-
doubt about it.
And she's a good player. CJ is.
Carver to the line.
I'm sorry, Coach.
No worries. First one ends the drought.
55% from the line.
All right. Well, that was a big first one because that's the first point of the half.
Right. And in the conference, she's 17 for 31, Coach. Now she's 18 for 32.
And they said that Pollock's couldn't do math. Free throw, no good. Off McNeil. Gonna stay right here.
Especially Pollock's from Cudahy.
Yeah. It's like a well, that's 2 negatives equal a positive. Is that where you're going with that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at us staying math.
Yes.
That's Coach
Gotta
Ron.
have fun.
That's Coach Ron Gavinsky's thoughts, not mine. They do not represent W7 or any of them.
There you go. But I can get away with saying
Yeah, you
that,
sure
Coach, because
can.
that's where I went to high school and grew up.
Absolutely. 11:20 remaining. McNeil jumper, no good. King rebounds. Corner 3. Actually, I think that's who came away with that rebound is Sydney Bogan, who we talked about
In the JV game.
from the JV game. She did play some minutes there. Shot up, no good. Acker rebounds. Shot, good.
For 6th. Nope. Acker with his steal, Coach, and a breakaway.
Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to get those other points, too. It's the 30th turnover for Falls. It's not, and you know what? That's not unusual, not only to play because you're playing Germantown. The other side of it is the youth on this Menomonee Falls team. Their JV team has 1 junior, 2 sophomores, and 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 freshmen.
Acker picked up her second. Well, yeah, I think the future is good. Like we talk about Brook East a lot. I think the future for the Falls
Yep.
is really good, and I think Derek does a good job.
He
with
really
the
does.
kids.
He really does.
Again, he doesn't have a starter on the floor right now.
No, he's getting everybody
He's
those
getting
minutes.
everybody, and against the
He
quality
does.
team.
Actually, he does, but that's okay. Good spin. Nice reverse spin.
Oh, he does have a
Alana
starter?
Bullock. He does. He's got 44. Riley Reed
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
you're right. I think she just came in, Coach.
Well, she's still on the floor. Left-hander, no good. Pompu saves it out to Acker. KK rolls off.
But the point I'm trying to make
Tie
is
up.
he's given his younger
Everybody.
kids experience playing
Yep.
against a really good
Yeah,
team.
and
which
that's going to help them
in the
the
future.
rest of the season.
Correct.
9:47 left in this one.
I'm laughing because I think that's the first time I used correct.
I was going to
tonight.
say that, but I wasn't sure if you said it to me on air or off. But I did hear a correct earlier, but again, I don't know.
Yeah.
9.5
Nice steal.
Paul's kill steal, but she
Oh.
stepped out of bounds. So that's a turnover, and that's a turnover right back, only the 4th for Germantown. Maddie Montgomery checking in.
Coach, I want to say this is a really good refereeing crew we have here.
This is
The best that I've seen this year.
season. Yeah, this is a group that's done many state games.
They've done a great job.
Indeed. Indeed.
And as an ex-coach, you know when the rest,
You know the good ones.
the really good ones for sure.
Yes, right. Carver has it broken up.
Look at that, 3 people on the floor.
Germantown ball. Recklets back in. Ooh, question being asked.
Uh-oh.
Will Germantown be just as good next season?
They're losing.
You're losing some key seniors.
You're losing 4 out of the starting lineup.
Yeah, Paul's kill shot, no good. King rebound. So you never know what's going to happen. You don't know how things play out, but just looking at everything and how it sets up, you don't know the development. I mean, who's going to take that Natalie Paul's kill jump from junior to senior year that's currently on the team?
Right.
Or a sophomore or a freshman that makes that jump. I mean, we talked about it early on, the huge jump that Natalie took. I mean, she was a player last year. She played minutes. Recklich stepping through. King with another rebound and shot attempt.
I still think they're going to be good.
Oh, no doubt about it. They're going to be right there at the top.
Anytime you got one on your team, number one.
And that's no doubt the biggest carryover is KK. We just talked about her as being one of the best players in the state. And she's going to be around next year. So obviously that's going to help you a great deal. But teams are going to throw 3 and 4 at her to stop her. Is she going to be able to get her teammates involved, which I'm sure she will? Are those teammates going to be able to help her by finishing and taking those shots? And they have to be able to play with that kind of confidence. You get an open shot, you have to shoot it. And there are so many kids that are so afraid to shoot. Well, if I miss, you got to shoot it.
If you don't shoot it, the team may not get a shot.
And coaches will take you out because you are so timid.
Correct.
32nd on the floor. Germantown. We'll take it with them. You're watching GTV.
If you don't know W7, you don't know Germantown girls basketball. I'm Emily Wisner. And I'm Natalie McNeil. And W7 is for the girls.
Back live on GTV, picking up our discussion that was posed to us on Facebook. Will Germantown be as good as next season? Well, first of all, this season's not over. But you know what? You're just asking a nice hypothetical question and asking our opinion. Will they be this good? Who knows?
Correct.
The likelihood of, 3 straight years of potentially going 15-1. It's hard to do for a 4th. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But you know what? Is there a group that could do it? Sure. This is a possibility. But again, you're talking about losing a Division I player, Jalen Acker. Huge seniors. Again, the jump that we talked about, Natalie Paul's kill, Katie Pompu. And then you have the other seniors who come off the bench, and Maddie Montgomery, Leah Hess, Karina Murphy, Paige Robinson. I mean, it's a lot of seniors.
Gabby got thrown
Derailed.
into the wall.
Don't want to forget Haley Laritzen as well, a senior. Wanted to let you talk about your point. So you talk about all those seniors, which, by the way, 1 week from tonight is senior night. as Germantown will host Hale. But that's tough to lose all those seniors.
Especially when two of them are in your top 3 scorers. Obviously,
Yeah.
KK is your number 1 scorer, and Emily Wisner's back next year, and she's averaging 10.5. But Acker and Paulskill in the conference are averaging 10.8 and 10.9. That's 30. That's 21 points that you got to find for next year.
Ball batted around, ends up in the hands of
You know, and I
Calla
think
Lobs.
McNeil will play a bigger role next year.
So will Wisner. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I
you
mean-
look at the group that's out there right now that's getting all this experience. Now, the thing that we talked about starting tonight was the bench, and that's what separates Germantown. That's where you have to look at, can they be as good next year? That's where it's going to be the challenge for the rest of the program. How will they develop? How are those freshmen, how's that freshman group going to develop? How's that JV team going to develop? Because they need to take that giant step for this team to continue its winning ways.
Right, and what's coming in, I don't know what's coming into Germantown in their lower levels.
You don't know.
You don't know, and one thing that we've said a lot about Coach Stuvey this year is he plays a lot of people, and
Sure
he
does.
did it last year, and he did it the year before. So these juniors that are getting playing time, it isn't like their first year, they're a
Right,
second-year varsity player playing in a game for the first time.
3 on the way, no good. 22, Sydney Bogan, that 5'10" sophomore. We got a chance to watch her during the JV game.
Athletic as heck.
Yeah, you kept talking about her, and then you couldn't find her because she was wearing number 2. 3 up and down. Alana Bullock.
Yep.
You kept talking about her. Well, she's not in the program anywhere. Who is she?
Had to go ask somebody.
Yeah, we found out. Answer 3, no. And they're going to get a push on Lindsay Taylor.
But I think in the conference, Germantown will be in the mix of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, BE's
I
probably.
think, yep, that's what I think there's no doubt the team next year, I think if we had to ask all the coaches, poll the coaches, next year, who would you pick to win the conference? I think, being that it's just you and I and we're doing this talking, we would both pick Brook East.
Agreed. And then you could say
DS,
DSHA.
yep.
You could say Germantown,
Brook Central's not
Brook
going anywhere.
Central, and you could even say with as many young kids as Menomonee Falls
Yep.
has. I mean, I'm so impressed with the younger kids in the conference.
Yeah, and that's where DS is going to be around because they got the 2 freshmen. And Tim and
Kent Holmes.
Holmes.
And they're legit.
3 on the way, no good.
And then you got Kelly, who's a freshman
Yeah.
at BE. I mean, there's some good freshmen in the conference.
Amaya Rodriguez, that last rebound. Sure are. Sure are.
Oh! Lobs is being pushed all over the place.
I don't think she's taking it. She's handling it well. I don't think she's taking it very well.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think she's a little upset.
Another 3.
Alana Bullock,
Two
back to back,
Yep.
in timeout, falls. A big one, and we're going to take it with them. With 5:30 remaining, Germantown up 25. Back live on GTV. 5:25 remaining. Again, if you're just joining us or maybe you're reading some of the comments, yes, Falls was up 20-17. 3:52 remaining. Germantown took a timeout. 3 on the way, no good. And drew up a 3 for Jalen Acker. She knocked it down to tie it. To the hoop, Alana Bullock. And again, it was 20-17. Acker hits that 3, and it's been a freight train rolling. So it's a 40-12 run for Germantown.
And again, I will repeat this. They do this to every team.
Many teams.
Yes.
Whoops. Don't
I'm sorry.
panic. I'm back. As I disconnect us. Don't want that. Well, I'm getting better here. I know I am. Just keep pushing buttons. Second one rolls off. Good box out, but Danae King nearly came away with another one. She's been everywhere. She flew into us before.
Taylor kind of just backed away. Bullock has scored all of the points for the Falls this half.
Ooh. Alana, the 5'6" sophomore. So yet again, adding to the youth story that you were just talking about. Down the lane, and she hits another one.
She's got 10 this half, Coach.
Lobs out top, kick out. Taylor, 3, no good. Again, don't forget tomorrow night, Coach G and I will be live from Kettle Moraine Lutheran, bringing you Germantown's next game on a Saturday night, back-to-back Saturdays. And then we get some downtime, Coach.
Yes, we do.
And we get to prepare all week for senior night. And
West Ellis Hale.
I think there's been talk of Gary and I going to Germantown, maybe a couple of practices, doing some
That'll be good.
doing some inside work on these seniors. We'll have to see. We don't know that for certain.
Well, I know.
A lot of things are COVID related, and I know they don't like having a lot of outsiders coming into things. But we'll see. We're still hopeful of what we can do. Cox nearly had a rebound, but Danae King rips it down.
Didn't he do something with Slinger or Michigat just recently?
Yeah, he does so much for everybody.
Yeah, he does.
He's incredible. I'm glad he's not here listening to us talk so nicely.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to be bashing him. Don't you worry, folks. We'll get
Exactly.
right back to bashing him.
As we say about him a lot. I mean, he does so much for the girls. I mean, I don't know of anybody that knows more about what girls from everywhere
Knowing their
know.
sisters, their
Yeah.
families, the crowd. I mean, truly, some of the crowd he knows. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he knows who's really good and who's potentially going to be really good. I mean,
Memory's incredible.
yes.
Again, tomorrow night we will not say any of these positive things because he will be with us. Good ball movement for Falls. Get Chloe Snore a basket. A Signer. I'm being told it's Signer, and she did a great job.
The Falls
And then a
bench,
block shot, Danae King.
The Falls bench is getting excited for the kids on the floor right now. That
They have
is
not
great to
stopped
see.
all night. They've been cheering.
You know, and we saw Acker with her Irish jig 3 times today.
I hope the cameras caught it all. Shot, no good. As he ticketing down toward the finish.
Our golfers in the game, Coach.
Cox, that's right, our favorite golfer.
I'm really glad that both coaches have their kids playing, different kids.
Sure.
Kids
But I like what you said before about Falls playing their bench against the starters of Germantown because it's just going to make them better. You're not going to chip away down to 25, 30. Give those other girls a chance to go say, hey, you know what else they can say? In in 2 years, when KK does officially win State Player of the Year, all things staying the way they are. You know,
Right.
whatever. They can say, I played against her. Maybe they block her shot. Maybe they steal it. My son struck out a kid that went and played Division I baseball. He still talks about it.
Well, exactly. And the other thing is, as a coach, you can use that as saying, hey, you played against one of the best teams in the state, and you survived.
No doubt. You know, you get a steal or a deflection off Jalen Acker, you could say, she went and played at California Baptist.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden she shows up on ESPN for hitting a game winner like she did against BC.
Right.
You can say, yeah, I blocked her shot. I stole it from her. I deflected it off of her. Or I had to guard her and she lit me up. You still laugh about it and have fun with it.
Well, exactly. And you can use, I mean,
Sonor, shot no good. Look at King batting it around.
I'm going to bring up, think about Enrique and what she did at Notre Dame.
Sure.
Kids that played against her,
Taylor steps into the three,
get
no
to
good.
say that.
Sure.
Well,
Hallie Bowles like, wait, that's not for me, is it?
she forgot to jump. But she scored her first 4 points of the year Tuesday, Coach.
That's right.
Her mom was happy after the game.
So are we. Happy for her.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great to see. As we're under a minute now. Again, don't forget tomorrow night we will be live from Kettle Moraine Lutheran. I want to thank Brian Highmark, who helped us bring everything in tonight. So thank you, Brian, for helping out. Thank you for Menomonee Falls. Coach
30-second
Wolfler
timeout.
is a huge supporter of W7, always thanks us. We'll do road games, and he thanks us for being there. He is
I
great
like
guy,
him a
great
lot.
coach. Glad he's a part of the W7 family, no doubt.
And he is a good coach.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
And he's starting to get cards, you know, as coaches would say. You got to have players to play.
And they're coming.
And they're coming.
And we saw some of that tonight. So credit them. I mean, look at the score. Germantown's 57. They average 73.
Right.
And that's the one positive I will take from this for Falls. Their defense really did a nice job making Germantown work for every one of their points. Zone defense will do that. It'll slow things down, but it doesn't matter. Whatever reasoning you come up with. Great job by Falls.
Well,
They're going to be better the rest of this season. Ooh.
in the
They're set up for my play.
They are.
They're set up for my play. I have been begging coaches to run this play. Coach, get out of the way. This is my play. Let's see how this works. Everybody should be going to the right and then a comeback. You got to carry it first.
So
Derek, she's got to take two to the right and
the other
then come back.
Right, and all three got to go across.
That's my play.
And
we called it stack opposite because most teams.
Oh no,
he had a big smile. He wanted to see a run. Lob into King. Danae, no surprise on the floor. Look at the hustle. This is with 30 seconds left in the game. Shot,
right.
no
And
good.
look
The
at
whole
the
bench fired up, trying to get Abby Baker a bucket.
And I want to give another plus to Menomonee Falls. In the conference, they've only given up 56 points a game.
And right on average.
And the highest scoring team in the conference is Germantown.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Wow,
there's
good
a lot
shot
of
fake. Get it out of
positives.
here. Great block shot there by Sydney Bogan. But it kicks out. Lindsay Taylor hits it at the buzzer. And that's your final. Germantown 60, Menomonee Falls 36.
Nice job.
Great job by
guys.
the crew tonight.
Nice job,
You guys were outstanding. Great job, crew, including the Perko kid.
Her
Take
brothers
care.
are proud of her. I said, your brothers are proud of you.
So that's it.
They got a lot to be. Oh, I'm
Absolutely, no. You're right. They have a lot.
sorry. They got a lot. They didn't give up.
No way would they. Not with Coach Wolfler
Yeah.
and his group. And Germantown comes away victorious, as we expected. Just had to work a little harder. But that's it for us from Menomonee Falls. Thank you so much for everybody that joined us tonight. All the comments, we do appreciate them. And all the great things you say about us. It's all for you and the girls, no doubt about it. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night from Kettle Moraine Lutheran. Live, we'll go on about 6:45.
Yeah, because I think it says 7:15 in Wiz Hoops, but it could be a 7 o'clock game.
But that is it from Falls. Germantown coming away victorious 60-36. You've been watching GTV for Ron Gavinsky. I'm Ed Rowie. We'll bring you tomorrow night's game from Kettle Moraine Lutheran. Have a great Friday night and Saturday morning.